Hey there! Today, I want to tell you all about my journey as a rideshare driver. I've been in the game for quite a few years now, mainly driving for Uber. But recently, I decided to mix things up and give DiDi a shot. So buckle up and join me as I share my personal experiences behind the wheel of these popular ride-hailing services. What are the pros and cons of being a rideshare driver? Pros of driving for Uber and DiDi. You are the boss of your own life and get a truckload of flexibility. Being a rideshare driver is awesome because you're the boss of your own schedule. You can choose when to work, take as many breaks as you please, and even go on spontaneous vacations whenever the wanderlust hits. No more asking for permission from a strict boss, you're in control. Work as many hours you like and make money. It's like having your own personal time-money machine. Just remember to take breaks and not turn into a workaholic robot. Meeting new people every day. Make new friends and become a professional chauffeur at the same time with Uber. It's like having a social life on wheels. Cons of driving for Uber and DiDi. You will have to work odd hours. So you're thinking about becoming a rideshare driver, huh? Well, buckle up because we're about to take a hilarious detour into the world of driving for Uber and DiDi. While there are plenty of perks to being your own boss and cruising around town, it's important to know the cons before you hit the road. One major downside is that you'll have to work odd hours. Forget about those cozy weekends spent binge-watching your favorite shows or sleeping in until noon. As a rideshare driver, your schedule will be as unpredictable as a squirrel crossing the road. Late nights, early mornings, and everything in between, get ready to become best friends with caffeine. But hey, on the bright side, think of all the interesting characters you'll encounter during those late-night rides. From karaoke enthusiasts belting out off-key tunes to self-proclaimed philosophers sharing their life advice, whether you asked for it or not, every shift will be like a never-ending episode of Taxi Cab Confessions. So if you're willing to sacrifice some sleep and embrace the wild ride that comes with working odd hours, hop in and let's explore more cons of driving for Uber and DiDi. Just remember to keep some snacks handy for those midnight cravings. Trust me, your passengers will thank you. While driving for Uber, you may encounter some challenging, rude, and highly intoxicated riders. Patience will be your best friend in these situations. Buckle up, my friend, because being an Uber driver can sometimes feel like a wild ride through a theme park of difficult, rude, and highly intoxicated riders. But fear not. Your secret weapon in navigating this rollercoaster of emotions is none other than patience. Lots and lots of patience. Picture this, you're cruising down the street, ready to pick up your next passenger, when suddenly you hear the sound of heels clicking on the pavement. You turn around to see a rider who's had one too many drinks and is about as stable as a newborn giraffe on ice skates. Take a deep breath, my friend. This is where your patience will shine. As an Uber driver, you're bound to encounter all sorts of characters along the way. From chatty Cathys who want to tell you their life story to grumpy Gregs who think they know better than GPS, it's like playing a never-ending game of human bingo. But remember, every interaction is an opportunity for you to flex your patience muscles. The unpredictable world of Uber rides. As a driver, you never quite know what kind of adventure awaits you when you pick up a passenger. And sometimes, that adventure takes a particularly stomach-churning turn. Yes, we're talking about the dreaded vomit incident. It's like playing a game of Russian roulette, except instead of bullets, it's chunks of half-digested fast food. But fear not, dear drivers. We're here to navigate this messy situation with humor and grace, and maybe a little bit of air freshener. So buckle up and get ready for some laughter as we delve into the wild world of puke-filled car rides. Now let's talk about those highly intoxicated riders. We've all been there, Stumbling out of a bar after one too many tequila shots, no judgment here. But when you're behind the wheel and responsible for getting them safely from point A to point B, it can be quite the challenge. Patience becomes your superhero cape as you navigate their slurred speech and questionable directions with grace and understanding. So my fellow Uber driver extraordinaire, remember that while dealing with difficult passengers may test your limits at times, it's all part of the adventure. Embrace each encounter with humor and patience because hey, at least it makes for some great stories to share at dinner parties. You will have to deal with short trips and traffic. The joys of being an Uber driver. Short trips and traffic jams, what a winning combination. It's like getting a taste of frustration with a side of disappointment. You're just cruising along, hoping for a nice long trip to rack up those dollar bills, but instead, you get stuck in traffic and end up making peanuts on a short journey. It's like ordering a full-size pizza and only getting one measly slice. Talk about feeling cheated. For example, 30 minutes trip with 25 kilometers you make $50 and 30 minutes trip with 10 kilometers and you make $20 even if you are stuck in traffic. Driving for a long time and not exercising can lead to some unexpected weight gain. Are you an Uber driver who's noticed a few extra pounds creeping onto your waistline? Well, it turns out that spending long hours behind the wheel without any exercise can lead to some unexpected weight gain. And let's face it, after finishing a shift, the last thing you have time and energy for is hitting the gym. So you end up driving in odd hours and unhealthy lifestyle. You will develop a regular back pain and neck for driving long hours. The joys of being an Uber driver. The open road, the interesting passengers, and of course, the inevitable back pain. Yes, my friend, if you've been behind the wheel for hours on end, you're bound to develop a regular backache that rivals that of a seasoned grandpa. No job security. Job security, the elusive concept that seems to slip through our fingers like a greased pig at a county fair. And if you're an Uber driver, well, let's just say your job security is about as stable as a Jenga tower in an earthquake. One false complaint from a rider and poof. Your account is terminated faster than you can say 5-star rating. Talk about being jobless overnight, it's like getting kicked out of the cool kids club for wearing socks with sandals. Where even your trusty Uber driving skills can't save you from the wrath of one disgruntled passenger. You won't get superannuation, annual paid leave and paid sick leaves like you get in a normal job. The joys of self-employment. While being your own boss certainly has its perks, like setting your own schedule and wearing pajamas to work, there are a few downsides too. One of the biggest bummers is that you won't find yourself lounging on a beach somewhere with a drink in hand while your employer pays for your superannuation and annual leave. Nope, as a freelancer or entrepreneur, it's all on you to save for retirement and take time off when you need it. But hey, at least you can take breaks whenever you want without having to fake a cough or plan an elaborate escape from the office. Conclusion. You cruising down the street, wind in your hair, jamming out to your favorite tunes. Sounds like the perfect gig, right? Well, driving for Uber might just be the side hustle of your dreams. Need some extra cash? No problem. Just turn on that app and start chauffeuring people around town. But before you quit your day job and dive headfirst into Uberland, let's take a moment to consider whether it's truly a suitable full-time career option. Sure, driving strangers from point A to point B can be an adventure in itself, but is it sustainable in the long run?